Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Mass Effect Andromeda. We are currently on Aya and we just finished talking to the governor, who apparently has duplicated. Yeah, I don't know how this happened. It just was like this when I started up the game, but apparently there's two of you now, which is kind of freaky. But anyway, we still have a bunch of stuff to explore. We are over here now and all of that is not explored yet. We picked up a few quests. We need to collect messages from terminals and we have more laws that we are supposed to read. So I guess we're just going to continue to explore and we can, pick up that stuff on our way. And there seems to be a door over here, but I guess it's locked. I suppose we can find out, and yeah, I'm going to leave the governor and her clone alone. Yeah, this is probably the door, right? Yep, and I can't open it. Okay, in that case, let's take this door maybe and see where it leads us. Alright, I mean I have been to the market already, so let's maybe check out this place first. We can pick up a few messages. I suppose it's the terminal over there. Yeah, that guy is drinking. Alright, let's grab the messages. Citizen messages to the Nexus. Alright, we can actually read them. Let there be unity. Before the Scourge, Angara were one people. It took centuries after that disaster to find each other again, and by then we'd been divided too long. That's how the Cat were able to conquer us. The war forced us back together, but now you've upset that balance. Some don't trust you. Others want you to save us. Divisions are forming. If you're really here to help, keep our people united. Okay, that's a fair point, I guess. Pavor and Ishare to you all. I'm writing this in my final days. I've lived a long life that now comes to its natural end. I've known great loss and pain, but also joy and hope. I think we have that in common. My fate is to leave at a turning point in history. Part of me is angry I won't see what happens next, but I've made my peace. Whatever becomes of your people, mine and the Cat will reverberate into the lives of my great-grandchildren, and that gives me strange comfort. I know there's more to this life than war and hardship, and I've seen enough to know your people understand that too. Be well, take care of each other, change life for the better, goodbye. Well, that's a pretty thoughtful message. We wish you peace and good fortune. Don't be deceived by the posturing of Evfra the Tershaav and his resistance. We are not a violent people. We are scientists, inventors, artists, caretakers and explorers. This is our home, but there is room enough for us all. We told the Cat the same thing, but they don't listen. We hope you do. I would like to think we do. No one will read this. This message will never be read by the Pathfinder, much less reach the Nexus. We are so desperate for allies against the Cat that we are willing to make the same mistake with new aliens. This little stunt by the governor won't change anything. We may as well be screaming into the wind. Well, you are wrong. I have read your message. Oh, and I can forward it to the Nexus unedited, or I can edit content and then forward. And I suppose edit content means that I remove the negative parts. But I mean, this guy basically just said that, the Nexus is not going to read this, so I feel I should prove them wrong. And I mean, most of them are positive, so I don't think there's any harm. I'm going to send all of them. There we go. Right, where do we want to go next? The Tavataan. How about we check out that place? It's over here, I suppose. Oh, is this some sort of bar? And, well, apparently Liam has found the bar as well. You always seem to be hanging out at a bar, huh? Nutrient paste vats. This is an industrial food processor used for creating and storing angara nutrient paste. Well, that sounds tasty. The resistance needs volunteers. The cat have felt the power of the resistance and they know their end is coming. Our victories on Vote are only the beginning of what we can achieve, but we can't defeat the enemy without your help. If you're tired of living in fear, if you believe we were meant for something greater than slavery, if you're willing to stand up and fight, you'll find a new family in the resistance. We'll train you to strike back at the cat and reclaim what is ours. The resistance defends the future of all Angara. Join us. Alright. Some recruitment ad. But yeah, let's go and talk to this guy here.
Welcome to the Tavataan. Feel free to order a drink, or if you're hungry, we have nutrient paste. Not as exciting as fresh fruit, but you'll like it.
Yeah, what exactly is this nutrient paste?
What's in that stuff?
In short, everything. Nearly all the food we grow goes straight into processing. We can feed an entire planet in a single harvest.
Okay.
Even ship some off-world.
So I assume it's a very efficient way to process food without, producing waste and stuff. Yeah, I suppose this could be useful for us as well.
If we used your system, we'd never have a food shortage.
If you want, I can send a few samples to your ship. Your people can study it.
The Nexus would love that.
Consider it done.
Alright, thank you. And yeah, tell me about this place.
What does Tavataan mean? My translator won't pick it up.
It depends on the context. If it's a person, it means an old friend. If it's a location, like this, it's more a place you could bring someone home to.
What if you need to meet your Tavataan at the Tavataan?
It's not so hard to understand. I'm sure your language has its quirks.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some way by, I don't know, syntax or context to distinguish between lexical ambiguities. Yeah, give me a drink.
I'd like a drink.
So, what do you think? Is it a good drink? She doesn't have an opinion. Alright, I'll be on my way.
That's all for now.
We'll come back anytime.
Alright, and yeah, let's talk to Liam, and apparently Drac is here as well.
Hey, Ryder.
So, sampling the local cuisine as well.
This paste stuff ain't half bad.
Aren't you to wait until your medic has cleared the food for toxins before you eat anything here?
Let me tell you about Bitcoin.
Well, I just kinda drank the drink as well without any medical examination, so, well, it seems to be fine.
Real change in tone after that care facility. Half the Angara are thankful, half are even more suspicious.
Let's try not to make it worse.
Don't worry about me. They're busy glaring at Cora for some reason.
Why? Why Cora specifically? So, what are you up to?
Helping the Moshai opened a lot of doors around here. Most Angara still keep their distance, though.
Well, maybe it's because you stick out a little bit.
Well, you are a bit of an eyesore.
Speak for yourself. When I saw my first human, I couldn't understand how you keep your blood inside. Skin that thin.
Well, that's one way to look at it. Okay, so apparently, my companions are just hanging out at the bar. Repository of history. And we have another message terminal over here. Okay, maybe I'm going to pick up the messages and then I'm going to visit this place. But hang on a second, is there anything of interest over here? I mean, this seems to be an extension of the bar, right? Looking at all the people eating and drinking. I don't see anything of interest though. Alright, let's move on, I suppose. I'm kind of trying to hear if there's any interesting discussion going on, but I don't think so.
They should put Jarl on every resistance recruitment poster. Did he ever contact you?
No, that man is impervious to flirtation.
Why are the good ones always dead?
I hear he had a thing for the repository's curator. Never went anywhere. She's just
Uh-huh.
So, Jarl's available.
That's an interesting piece of information.
that shuttle.
Charles has a thing for person at the repository, huh?
I'm so glad you're back, and in one piece this time.
I was in one piece last time. A little dented, but in one piece.
You hit that wall so hard you had amnesia for 2 weeks.
Technically, I was still in one piece.
Technically, yeah. I guess amnesia doesn't mean that you are not in one piece. Anyway, I'm guessing this is the repository of history, alright? But let's grab the messages from this terminal.
Ryder, you are the subject of a detailed scan by an angara standing nearby.
Maybe I should introduce myself.
Huh. Okay. Oh, is it you? Danfrey? Well, I can scan you as well. I'm going to scan you back. But let's talk to the person. Oh, that's actually the wrong button. But okay, in that case, let me pick up the messages first. Join our fight. You proved you can fight the cat on Vault. The resistance doesn't impress easily. Stand with us. Together we will take this war to the enemy's home. We'll make them feel terror. We'll show them despair. We will break the cat, and when that's done, we'll share the rewards of victory. That's a very belligerent one. Are you at war with each other? We've seen members of your species act with violence, greed and selfishness. We found evidence of your people attacking and stealing from another. Why do you hurt each other when only the cats stand to gain? If our people are slow to trust you, it's because we can't understand why some of you seem determined to hurt others. Even the cats stand united in their cause. Why don't you? I don't know. Do the Angaran always agree with each other and never fight each other? I suppose it's, the same reason. We have much to learn. I've spent my life wondering what other beings might exist. Your people are nothing like what I imagined, and I'm glad for that. I thought I was long past being surprised in life. My sons and daughters draw pictures of you and ask me all sorts of questions. They want to know everything about you. We hope you feel the same way. There's so much we can teach each other. I believe in our future. Help arrives when you least expect it, and your arrival was unexpected. You came to Arya wounded and in need, and we didn't welcome you. You went to our other worlds and helped our people overcome terrible challenges with no promise of reward or friendship. You wouldn't do that if there wasn't a goodness at your core. You want to understand and be understood. This is the start of a great alliance. Again, they seem to be mostly positive, so let's just forward them as they are. And now we're going to talk to this mysterious person here. I need to get a better angle though, I suppose. There we go.
Hello there.
I'm working.
Yeah, on me apparently.
You scanned me pretty hard. That wasn't your way of saying welcome, stranger?
I wanted to be discreet.
Noted. What's your interest in me?
You're an alien on my homeworld. Why wouldn't I be interested?
You could have asked.
Fine. Will you submit to a full spectrum analysis of your biology?
Will you tell me who you are first?
You haven't even told me your name.
Danfrey, biological researcher. This is my home.
Okay, and what exactly do you hope to find?
Are you looking for something specific?
We share many external similarities. I want to learn if that holds true internally.
Well, seeing how excessively I use my own scanner, it would be kinda hypocritical to deny her that request, so... Sure, go ahead.
Can't fault you for being curious. Scan away.
I didn't think you'd comply.
I'm full of surprises.
That you are. When we face extinction, family is our final comfort. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I guess I do.
I came to this galaxy with my family. I lost my father on the day I arrived.
But you still carry on his legacy. He knew that, in the end. Family is everything. Not only the one we have now, but the ones that follow us. What will your family look like in 5 generations? 10? How many of you will there be?
You're worried there'll be more of us than you.
I have 23 grandchildren. I want to know what their grandchildren will inherit. Goodbye, Pathfinder.
Well, I don't know, seeing the amount of children that Angara apparently get as a norm, like, 8 sisters and 10 brothers and stuff like that, I don't think there's any danger that, the Milky Way species are going to outgrow you anytime soon. So I wouldn't be too worried. Right, we picked up these messages, and yes, I thought I saw Jarl over here. So let's talk to him.
Ryder, take a break and enjoy the view with me.
Yeah, it's quite a view.
I missed the fresh air of Aya.
I still think the lava tornadoes in the back are a little bit disconcerting, but everything else is beautiful.
Well, what do you think?
I could get used to this.
We take turns living here. You can see why.
There we got the strange alien symbol again.
I love pretty much everything about it.
I love the air, the breeze. And one day we'll have more places like this. I have faith.
Alright. Alright. I do too. Okay, yeah, I wanted to go to this place next. Apparently, there is someone that Jarl is interested in. I feel kind of bad for flirting with him now. Repository of History. Oh, this is basically a museum. We're currently updating this display to bring you the latest in historical finds. Thank you for your patience. And what is all this stuff? It looks cat. First contact with the cat varied among our homeworlds. While the cat thought to confuse Havar with silence, they murdered the ambassador on Vord. They turned our worlds against each other and took advantage of the confusion and chaos. It's important for us all to learn from this moment in history and present a united front in the face of adversity. Alright, so a bunch of cat artifacts. Yeah, we have a bunch of exhibits here, it seems.
Good news? Well, we got another remnant piece.
But nothing Angaran. Pay them for their efforts. It's not their fault.
I think I spoke to her already, but she was outside of the city before. This fragment is from a wall of the governor's public residence on Vault, which was destroyed by cat bombardment during the initial invasion. The governor, all staff, and most of her immediate family were all killed in the blast. When Vault stands liberated, this relic will form the cornerstone of a monument to those who gave their lives defending our home. Alright. Yeah, let's talk to these people.
Good to see you again.
Okay, can you tell me more about Remnant Tech?
Any insight you can give me on the remnant tech?
We don't know much. To our understanding, it's always been here. Stars. I would love to be the one to solve that mystery.
And yeah, I do like your museum.
This is quite a place.
It feels like home to me. Sometimes I think I should move in here. But it's got a long way to go. Someday we'll fill it with relics of the past, each one telling a story. And my people will come here to learn. And to remember.
You'll get there.
With enough hard work, yes.
You seem young for a curator. How would I even know? I mean, the Mosha is supposed to be pretty old, like 100 years. And she looks exactly the same. I don't see any age difference in the Angara. But fair enough.
Is it normal for someone as young as you to be in charge?
I'm no younger than you. And you're a Pathfinder.
I kinda inherited the job.
So did I. I was apprenticed to the former curator. It was my job to bring him artifacts from other worlds. When he retired, I sort of fell into his position.
Do you miss relic hunting?
Some days, but mostly I'm happy to spend more time with each piece.
Alright, wanna tell me more about yourself?
Have you always been into history?
Oh yes. When I was young, I would dig up shells and pretend they were ancient armor pieces. I've always had a big imagination. With only 14 siblings, I got lonely sometimes.
14? That's insane.
Why? How many do you have?
Just the one.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, large families seem to be the norm among the Angara, so I don't think that the Milky Way species will be able to outgrow them just by, having more children.
I should get moving.
Come back soon.
Alright, I think I do have a quest that I still need to do for her, but it's actually on Haval, so I haven't been to that place yet. But yeah, let's look at all the other stuff. Until recently we knew this was a cat tool, but didn't understand its purpose. Scholars have recently determined it's used in the exaltation of our people. Though it may be difficult to look at, it's important we learn and understand exaltation to protect ourselves and our loved ones. Right, it's that weird dagger, syringe, thingy, whatever. It looks really, really mean. This one is empty. And we have some sort of dagger here. This dagger dates back nearly 4 centuries to the time just after the Scourge appeared. Faced with a technological dark age, our ancient ancestors learned to fight and hunt without the use of advanced weaponry. Okay, well that's interesting. Mother, you wouldn't believe all that's happened since Pathfinder Rider landed on Ayam. I'm sure you know about the Moshai's rescue, but I suspect you've only heard the official version. Evfra and his resistance like to claim credit for bringing her home, but I know for a fact they never could have accomplished it without the Pathfinder. People fear these new aliens will turn out to be like the cat. Don't listen to them. I feel in my spirit they've come to help, and I'm always right about these things. I wish you could see some of the interesting relics we found on Haval and elsewhere. I'll bring images next time I visit. Also, I'm not seeing R2 anymore. I was nothing particular that ended things. We're just too different. Don't worry, my work still brings me all the happiness I need. Avella. Alright. I'm glad for your vote of confidence in us, by the way. Let's see. Oh, there's so much stuff going on here, and apparently PB is over there. But let's look at all the exhibits first. Remnant device. While we can't know for certain, theories about this remnant device suggest its function may be to convert rock and sand into nutrient-rich soil. Huh, okay. This pottery fragment is believed to be a ceremonial decoration from the ancient temples of Haval. I'll take your word for it. Archaeologists on Haval recently discovered what they believe are pieces from the oldest structure as yet found on the planet. These fragments were literally uprooted by mutating vegetation rising from an underground cavern. Though the exact cultural nature of this find remains unknown, teams of researchers have recently established a permanent dig site to search for more clues. Alright. And yeah, let's go and talk to PB, who seems a little bit drunk. What's going on?
Getting acquainted with our new neighbors?
Sort of. All this stuff. The Angara sure do have a rich culture and blah blah blah.
Yeah, you seem to be drunk. Why?
You're sauced, aren't you? What's your poison?
I visited that cafe the Angara consider a bar. Asked for their hardest stuff. It was weird, which I like, but had almost no punch. Lightweight. Whoa.
Enough
Steady
punch
now.
for you, apparently.
That stuff must have a slow absorption rate. Whoops. Oh, writer. It's just... This museum reminds me of being on Haitiana during my indentured service as a student. They even have a whole section on the Remnant. I didn't come to Andromeda to follow in someone else's footsteps.
You've been an indentured servant as a student. Well, the Angara have questions. I suppose they do.
Don't worry, PB. The Angara barely have a foothold. Sure, they live among the ruins, but they haven't seen what we've already seen.
You might have a point there. Bet nobody here has ever outrun an ancient vault purification field, huh?
Nope.
Or spat in that Archon's ugly mug and lived to talk about it? That was nice work, by the way.
Thank you.
You're right. Not sure why, but ever since I packed up my apartment on the Nexus, something's crawled under my skin. But whatever it is, I promise, I'll get over it lickety-split.
Alright. So, basically, you're kind of disappointed that you're not the first who can study the remnants because the Angara already did so? I see.
Be sure you do. You're a handful, even sober.
You can handle me, Ryder, whenever you want. Think I'll stay in your operation a little while longer.
Alright, well, thank you, I guess. And yeah, we do have a bunch of remnant pieces over here. Though we don't know much about the remnant or its creators, we've determined the remnant were present in Helios long before our people. The remnant's purpose appears to be the same as the planetary walls, to transform a world into a thriving, beautiful paradise. Before the arrival of Pathfinder Rider in Revolution 826, modern attempts to interact with the remnant had been unsuccessful, but we've been able to coexist with them peacefully here on Aya. Okay, so the remnant are apparently older than the Angara, and the Scourge appeared like a few hundred years ago. So, my theory that the remnant were built to protect against the Scourge can't be true, because the remnant were there first. Or at least whoever created them. I mean, they still could have been created in response to the Scourge. But we also found that one shuttle on Eos, I believe, and there were indications that the Scourge targeted the remnant shuttle specifically. So yeah, I still don't know what's going on here, but we are piecing it together bit by bit.
I've heard so much about you. Is it true you entered a vault on Eos?
Sure is.
Amazing. I would have liked to see that.
So, do you track relics?
Are you a relic hunter like Avela?
Actually, I started as an engineer. The Moshai requested my help cracking encryption on a remnant ship she found. Eventually, that led me to the repository. I've been handling data encryption here ever since.
And you work here?
I take it you help run this place.
Nalan and I are Avela's assistants. It's been strange getting used to that.
Why?
Avela's much younger than the previous curator. She has a lot more energy. Sometimes I have to remind her to take a break. She's too passionate for her own good.
Well, nothing wrong about being passionate about your work, I suppose.
I'll let you get back to it.
Okay, we have more exhibits over here. Angaran exhibit. Though we know little about our pre-Scourge ancestors, evidence points to a grand multi-planet society with sophisticated technology. Many recent discoveries indicate our ancestors even traveled vast distances between systems. Though we have no way of knowing for sure, most scholars theorize our people's early success was due to the use of remnant technology. So kinda like the Milky Way species used Prothean technology. Then again, if you know so little about the pre-scourge Angara, are you sure that the remnants aren't, made by Angara? That could be possible, right? If so much of your history is lost, then I suppose your Angaran ancestors could have created the remnants and you just forgot about it? Oh, and another person. Let me talk to you.
Oh, it's you. I watched you land.
Hope you're not calling me it anymore.
You heard that. I apologize. I was ignorant.
So what do you do here?
What's your job around here?
Aylin and I help Evfra with her studies. I specialize in restoration.
So you make relics look new.
Do as I can. I'm not a miracle worker, no matter what Evfra says. She'll praise Ellen and I to anyone who will listen. Never had a supervisor like that before.
I'll leave you to it.
Alright, I don't want to disrupt your work. And yeah, I have looked at these exhibits already. And I'm pretty sure I looked at this one too. Right, I feel that I have seen everything, and this is another door I can't open, right? So I suppose we're going to move on. And the next stop would be the Resistance headquarters, I suppose. So let me find a door that works. And we're going to move on. Yeah, I talked to that person. I don't need to fast travel. Alright, Resistance headquarters, here we go. Alright, these are all the Resistance people. Oh, I think this is actually my other quest, the one about the laws.
Heard you were coming. I prepared a datapad on our laws regarding war. Learn them.
Right. Oh, it's over here. Okay. On the proper conduct of war against the cat. Though we face an enemy that will not stop until our entire civilization ceases to exist, it's important we not abandon the principles of basic morality. The cat must be defeated, but not at any cost. It won't matter if our future generations can live without fear of death or enslavement, if that freedom was achieved through genocide or other barbaric crimes. Well, that is a very enlightened attitude. And it's only 241 pages. That's actually pretty small compared to the other law codex. I'm going to read it. Thank you. Right. I don't see anything going on here, so let's check out this room. Okay, we have some people to talk to. Oh, this is actually Evfra. Alright. I do want to talk to him. Evra's command console. This command console belongs to Evfra, the Tershaav leader of the Angaran resistance. I hope you don't mind that I'm just scanning your stuff. Maybe we'll talk to this guy first.
Move Team Vayon to replace them? No, 6-9 is too unstable. They'll be out of food in 2 days, out of ammo in 3. They have to fall back.
Sounds like you've got trouble.
Too many kit, not enough resistance. I have a team that's been in the field for 6 months without resupply. They won't come in. Say they're close to taking down a kit outpost, but I don't know.
Trust your people, send backup. Honestly, I think you are in a better position to decide that because you have all the strategic information and I don't. But if you really want my advice, I guess I'm going to pick the safer option. I don't want to risk your people's lives, so just send them backup, I suppose.
If they could do it alone, they would have by now. Send reinforcements.
Hitting the enemy in one place leaves us vulnerable elsewhere. But you're right. This is the hardest part of my job. Thank you for the advice, Pathfinder.
No problem. I always like to meddle in other people's decisions. Right, let's go and talk to Evfra.
I expect you to take good care of Joel out there.
I will. I'm sure he'll return the favor.
Don't worry about him. You saved the Moshai. That earned his loyalty. Still wrapping my head around what you found at the Ket facility. That exaltation.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
It must be hard for you, realizing what the Ket soldiers are.
Doesn't change what we have to do. It's war. What do you need?
I want to ask you a few questions.
You've been fighting Ket a long time. Any advice?
Your war's different from ours.
It's still a war, and we're not prepared for it.
Wouldn't matter if you were. The Ket aren't a conventional enemy.
I understand.
Any idea where they came from? A homeworld somewhere?
Each of our colonies heard a different story. I doubt any were true. They came from far away. That's all we know.
Ever tried following a Ket ship to see where it goes?
Of course we did. Wherever home is, they don't visit.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Maybe they don't have one? Yeah, tell me more about Ket tactics.
Do the Ket have a favorite strategy? Something we can exploit?
They switch tactics constantly, almost capricious about it. Makes them unpredictable.
They must have some weakness.
They're vulnerable to brute force. That's enough.
Okay, fair enough. And yeah, what do you know about the Ket motives?
The Ket aren't mindless monsters. They must care about something.
Slaves, resources, power. Same as any conqueror.
You didn't see the exaltation process. Treat it like religion.
They convert us against our will. That's not religion, it's genocide. Every culture has its purpose. Theirs is to take whatever they want.
Well, so it would seem. Okay, tell me about the Resistance.
There's no official Angaran military, just the Resistance?
Lost our fleets and armies decades ago. Ket mostly. The rest fell to internal strife. We kept fighting, but our civilians were disorganized, poorly supplied, leaderless. Decades of aimless defiance got us nowhere. I had to make the Resistance real.
And well, apparently you succeeded.
How is the Resistance organized?
Loosely, we operate in cells. Independent strike teams have better odds. If the Ket capture a cell, it doesn't compromise the rest.
Well, that seems to be very typical organization structure for like underground operations. I do believe that Cerberus was organized in a similar fashion. And tell me about your leadership.
How'd you wind up in charge?
Nothing to lose. My family was rounded up into a Ket slave camp. Last contact I had with any of them was 10 years ago.
They could still be alive.
Didn't figure you for an optimist.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that they were either killed or exalted. I don't see any evidence that the Ket are keeping prisoners for like a long time. And tell me about your victories.
What success have you had against the Ket?
Enemy casualties are up 600% in 3 years. But that's just a number. Every time we destroy a facility, take out a warship, we give our people hope.
And you're not fighting alone anymore.
We'll see.
I see you're still skeptical.
I've seen armed people in uniform. They're not Resistance?
Aya police. Purely ornamental. Gives us the appearance of civilization.
You don't think they're necessary?
If things go bad, the Resistance will handle it.
Okay.
That's up to the governor, isn't it?
Apparently he doesn't think so. Yeah, how is your relationship to the governor?
What do you think of your governor?
She governs Aya, not the Resistance.
Way to avoid the question. Is there history between you?
I can always count on Paran to offer a spirited argument.
You respect her.
She holds her own. Not many do.
Well, having an argument from time to time isn't such a bad thing. And tell me about yourself.
What's your story, Evfra?
You're not getting my personnel file.
I'd just like to know who I'm working with.
You want to know what it's like being me? I wake up every morning to fight a war. I send people to kill and die. If I'm lucky, there are more dead Ket than resistance when I go to sleep.
That's a hell of a burden.
Enough personal discussion.
Alright, I get it. And oh, I don't get a flirt option with him. That's a pity. He's cool. Anyway, tell me your opinion on the initiative.
I hope the initiative is making a good impression.
The initiative. Sounds so unthreatening. Like a city planner meeting.
It kinda does.
It's kind of what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
City planners don't walk around in battle armor with rifles on their shoulder.
Depends on the city. My point is, we traveled through dark space to build something here.
That's what invaders always say. At first.
We're not invaders.
Of course.
Well, I hope we will be able to prove it to you.
I'll let you get back to it.
Good.
Okay, so we had an interesting conversation with him. And I guess I'm going to snoop around your terminals again. Recruitment efforts Kadara Port. Things are as bad as we thought. The deserters don't care about anyone but themselves. Recruitment efforts have found zero traction. Ironically, we've had better luck gaining support from the new aliens. A small group pledged to support the resistance and alert us to future CAD activities on Kadara. It seems unlikely the enemy would give up on their planet so easily, but maybe the presence of these new aliens has confused them. Regardless, I recommend we abandon recruitment efforts and instead focus on infiltration of the local population using deep cover agents. I'll submit a list of candidates in my next report, Ruske. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Kadara. I hope I can visit that place someday. Casualty report Vold. Severe whiteout conditions have made casualty confirmations difficult. Expect these numbers to be adjusted in the next update. Hopefully they'll be lower. Cat ambushed a night patrol in the Lundgren crevasse. 3 dead, 2 wounded, 1 missing. Squad missing outside Tetchix. Presumed captured, 4 missing. Sniper caught in avalanche in southern slope. Presumed dead, 1 missing. A shuttle suffered mechanical failure. Made hard landing on Steen Ridge, 2 wounded. Argument in the barracks got out of hand. 1 wounded, mostly in his pride. End report. Okay. People are getting nervous. Commander de Tershaav. No one questions your thinking, and we all understand that the circumstances we're facing are unprecedented. However, you should know that people are talking in the barracks about these new Nexus aliens. Setting aside how they look, smell and behave, how can we be expected to trust these things with access to our most secure world? On behalf of my unit, we submit to this so-called Pathfinder crew we submit that the so-called Pathfinder crew shouldn't be permitted to roam the city without an escort. We are keeping close watch on them, don't worry, we're not letting them see us. But it would be easier if we could assign a guard to each visitor whenever they're on Arya. I hope you'll consider this option. Respectfully, Volro. Well, apparently, despite his distrust of us, he has not agreed to that request. So, that's interesting. Anyway, I guess I have scanned and looked at everything in here. There is still stuff going on over here. We have an infirmary and apparently a shop somewhere. But how would I get there? Maybe this way. Alright. We have more doors. Oh, Cora is actually over here.
Ryder. Again. Wish I could join in down there. I could use a workout.
What exactly is going on here? Is this some sort of... Oh, this is a training simulation.
Evfra's letting me record a few of these training sessions.
Ah.
Just a few. But the Angara have some smart tactics. Now I get how they've held out against the Ket.
That's pretty cool, actually.
You call that effort? You couldn't knock that stuff with that.
It's pretty interesting to watch. And apparently Cora finds it interesting as well.
Getting lots of stares. Reminds me of being on Thessia for Asari commando training. We're the aliens.
That's true. So, got any advice?
Got any tips on navigating an alien society?
Be yourself, but your best self. Listen, and be polite about scanning your food. Though that's good advice in general.
Alright, thank you. Alright, I leave these people to their training exercise. And okay, this is apparently the shop. Quartermaster Isdal.
Pathfinder, Evfra cleared you to purchase weapons over my objections.
Well, that's okay.
Hey, selling an alien weapons would make me nervous too.
I don't do this for Evfra. I respect the Moshai.
Fair enough. So, what do you got? The weapon is called Ishare. Isn't that what the Angarans say when they, you know, say goodbye to you? So, is this weapon called goodbye? Or what does this word mean? I'm pretty sure the Angara say this as a farewell. Do you have anything else that I might want to buy? Just some normal weapons and some mods. Yeah, I think I don't need any of that, thank you. So I think we're not entirely done with this place. We still have the infirmary, and I suppose on my way back I'm going to pick up the remaining messages. And right, this is the next thing on my plate. I need to go to the vault in Aya. But I think the episode is long enough, so I'm going to make a cut here. We will maybe finish exploring this place in the next episode. And I don't know, maybe I'm just going to take care of the next quest, the one with the Aya vault, right away. So, as usual, thank you for watching, and see you again next time.